Fight fans, this is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I am live. Everybody, get Jakey. Jake Paul has a target on his back, people. And before I continue, we got Mama Lou in the building. Counterpunch to you, Daryl Masters. Yes, Kurt. My man, hope all is well from a rainy and cold London, UK. Well, as you guys can see here, let's see. Boom. Blue, beautiful skies. Crazy as shit. I'm sweating, so it's not even winter, and it feels like I just came from the gym. So, this is Gym Kurt. Okay. Gloves are off. First of all, before that, we got to give Daryl Masters some love. We're coming in with the first super chat of the evening. And that promotes the channel. That helps the channel significantly. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Daryl Masters. You didn't have to, but you did. We got to get that like and that love. 2 times. And Daryl Masters had this to say. He said, yo, Kurt, I said it in my comment, but pro boxers really want to put Jake Paul in the hurt locker after the fiasco of fighting a legendary all-time great, or AOP, old age Pilsener. Okay, old age Pilsener. I was wondering what the OAP meant. That's a part of it, and we're gonna get to that. Stewart, what's good? Counterpunch to you. Squilla 50 in the building. Counterpunch to you, brother. And back to what I was saying. The gloves are off. Sweet science. Kurt, please sort the clone accounts out on your channel. It's driving regular proper boxing fans away. We're having a channel. I've been reporting a lot of those guys because it's one I had to report and I didn't even see. I seen one and then I went to look for it. I couldn't find it. So as soon as I see them, you guys have to help me sort them out. Inbox me what the names of them are and what video they're a part of, because we got to get them out of here. We got to help the community grow positively. We don't want, like my mother says, any riffraff on the channel. We can't have that. We can't have that at all. You see what I mean? See, in the trenches, we fight and we get along and we progress together because we're fighting a battle. And the battle is against the fuckery. That's correct. And we got to get that out. We have to get that out of this community. We have to get that out of the community. So, what's up, my brother? Quan's Big Guns in the building. Counterpunch to you. Listen. Back to Jake Paul. Jake Paul, he went through with something. And his brother didn't make it any better. Okay? If you ever get cloned, report them for impersonating YouTube. We'll remove them. Yeah. Yeah, they need to go. Those clones. But anyway, Jake, bro, he is a guy that has shook up the boxing world. See, it was one thing when it was the YTBC. The YTBC is like the YouTube boxing community. Well, YouTube boxing, YouTube boxers. So the YTB. Okay. That was different. But this is something totally different because now we've had boxers that are stepping out of their element, that are stepping, legitimate boxers calling out Jake Paul. And the sad thing about that is they're calling out like Jake as though he's something and he has something that they want. And the only thing, here's the problem, the only thing that he could possibly offer them is what? Money. So it's like, okay, even with Turkey al-Sheikh blessing people with money, you mean to tell me you guys are still wanting Jake Paul? Now, you could say, well, man, he's doing it because of how he did Mike. Yeah, but Mike chose that upon himself. And the more I think about it, the more I think that it was meant for Jake Paul to beat Mike Tyson because they didn't care what kind of condition he was in. Think about it. If that brace, all right, that brace and the overall examination that you need to examine and like during that whole test, okay, that test that they give you, you have to pass. If you don't pass, you can't, you can't fight. But here's the thing. What kind of test did they give him to clear him to fight? You have to be cleared for that. What kind of test did they give Mike Tyson? A grammar test? Are you ready to fight, Mike? I'm ready to fight. I can fight. I can do whatever you want me to do. I can do it. I can knock this guy out in bed. Okay, Mike. Because you got to check off the boxes, and a physician's supposed to do that, honestly, ahead of the commission, the physician, ahead of the commission. And the commission is supposed to clear Mike Tyson based on what he can do, and it's crazy. I knew Paul would have a target on his back in the aftermath of this fight with Mike. Yeah. The only thing I give Jake Paul is the fact that he didn't do what he could have done. But here's the thing. He didn't do what he could have done because he didn't want to get in a situation where he could have been hurt himself. See, like you can say, oh, well, it's mercy. But then again, you could also rule it as chicken shit. You could say, well, you know what? No. He fought Mike like that and he stayed back from Mike like that because he didn't want to get punched because he's not an idiot. Because who in their right mind would want to get hit by Mike? See, it was either kill or be killed in this situation. Mike get beat up by Jake Paul, get outboxed or whatever. People are going to look at him funny like they're doing. Or Jake Paul gets caught by Mike Tyson, and then Mike Tyson would be looked at as like a hero of boxing overall. And him being already the symbol of boxing. That's that ideal, the go-to, the overall example boxer. That's the first person that comes to mind for a boxer, boxing, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, you know what I'm saying? Maybe somebody else, right? So it is what it is. Needs more mods to ban those MFers. The sport is allowing Jake to do. Yeah. They're like, but it's not that. I think these boxers that are targeting Jake Paul, understand Jake Paul's not a legitimate boxer. But the more people call him out, the more he becomes known, and the more juice he has. The more juice he has, the more people want to fight him. The more people want to fight him gives him that sense of acceptance and entitlement. See, Jake Paul now is entitled. He's entitled because they're allowing him to. See, they should have Artur Beterbiev, Daniel Dubois, Ryan Garcia, those guys like that called out Jake Paul. You're now stooping yourself from here down to here. Or you want to say from here to over here. But here's the thing. You're a legitimate fighter. Why are you legitimately calling out somebody that ain't even respected as a legitimate fighter? See, for what they're doing, they're saying, and this is the debate, this is the argument. Aren't they really saying that, hey, you know what? Since we're calling out Jake Paul, how would you like to fight a legitimate champion? Or how about you would like to fight for an undisputed championship? Why are you guys giving this guy this perk or this option to do something that he doesn't deserve when you know damn well he's not on that level? If he's not on that level and you know that, there's no difference from what he does with older fighters than what you're doing to him. Let me say that one more time. For the fighters that are calling out Jake Paul and they know he's not a legitimate boxer, that's no different from what they're doing by calling him out. It's no different from what he's doing, calling out older guys like Mike Tyson, Anderson Silva, Tyron Woodley. These guys that are way past their prime are not boxers to begin with. He's calling these guys out. You're doing no difference. You're doing the same thing that he's doing to other people that don't deserve to be in the ring with somebody that young. But you guys are calling him out, saying, hey, how about you fight me? Why would you want to fight Jake Paul when you already know Jake Paul is not a legitimate boxer? So that's the same handicap. And what's going to happen? You just want to hurt Jake. Jake's making money. Unless you want to do it only for money because you see the money and the value of that lucrative business that he's bringing into a platform that he's using to make money. But that doesn't mean he's a legitimate boxer. It does not mean that. So when you guys, legitimate boxers, that are calling out Jake Paul, now you're making him think, I belong. I belong here. Artur Beterbiev called me out. Yeah. Ryan Garcia called me out with his millions of Instagram subscribers. Yeah. Daniel Dubois, the guy that just knocked out Anthony Joshua, now he's calling me out too for the IBF. I belong. They want to put the hurt business on Jake and deliver justice. No, you know what? Like, what justice would you get for beating Jake Paul? You know what I mean? Like, he's not. Look, here's the thing. He's not stupid enough to fight one of those guys. For one, he's too big for someone like Ryan Garcia because Ryan's smaller. He just gained all that weight. Maybe Artur Beterbiev, but he ruled him out because he states that Artur doesn't have enough followers. You know what I'm saying? Daniel Dubois, he's like getting line because he's not an idiot because he doesn't want to get his brains knocked out in the same division that he fought Mike Tyson with his old self at. You fight Mike at heavyweight. You're 227 pounds, but you don't want to fight the IBF heavyweight champion. So it's like, to me, I don't get why, these guys are giving Jake Paul all this credit and all this momentum. Why are you giving this guy all these opportunities that he didn't deserve just to beat him up? You should ignore that if you're a legitimate fighter and you respect boxing. What about Derek Chisora? Derek Chisora would fight him, and he probably would fight Derek if Derek would probably be someone that Jake Paul would fight. But then I don't think that Derek is old enough yet. Maybe he would fight someone like Shannon Briggs. And because that's a good business move for him, because he knows Shannon Briggs is looking for anyone or anybody to bring steam upon and with. And Jake Paul would do it. Shannon's dangerous and I'm in shape. Let's go, champ. You would love to see that because that would be a good buildup. You have pushes, shoves. You'd have a lot of animated interaction between the two. But yeah, so Shannon, he's in his 50s. He probably would fight him. But the only reason he fought Mike, because Mike is damn near 60 years old. Then he knew it. And and this is what I don't like though. Mike, like, well, why don't I just fight Logan Paul? I can fight Logan. And what Logan, motherfucker, I'd kill you, Mike. And I'm like, that's disrespectful to Mike, bro. You know what I mean? And it almost seems like, bro, what are you? You're a pawn? What are you, just a tool for amusement? You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff. He already went in there injured. He already went in there with this whole, issue with his leg, knowing damn well he wasn't ready. And I guarantee you, whoever's supposed to cleared him knew that too. They knew something's wrong with his leg, and there is no way he should have passed any type of physical. There's no way he should have passed a physical fighting Jake Paul. That fight shouldn't have happened. He said, I lost, but I won. No, bro, you lost, but you lost. Because nobody was around you. And then here's the sad part, people. The sad part is the people that were around Mike wasn't real enough because they were too greedy to disagree with him because they were worried about lining their own pockets. The people that were around Mike, like, yo, bro, your knee is nowhere where it needs to be able to keep up with that young guy. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. The fight was humiliation ceremony. Joe King, it kind of was. And they knew that. You know what I mean? Like, he should at least been, come on, bro. He should have at least been physically able to do what he could do at 58. There's no sense of fighting someone, first of all, that far gone, that old, and injured. So that means, okay, not only is he old and 58, he can't even do what he could have done if he wasn't injured. Now he's injured too. So why, like, what is this about? And then the guys, now everyone's coming to the aid, like, oh man, I'll fight you. Listen, Jake Paul, let me tell you guys something. This is a message to Daniel Dubois. This is a message to Ryan Garcia. This is a message to Artur Beterbiev, the undisputed light heavyweight champion as well. All of you guys, Jake Paul does not want you. Tony Bell, you too. Carl Froch, too. Oscar De La Hoya. He doesn't want you guys. You're too young. You're too able. You're too much of a threat. David Haye, too. He doesn't want David Haye? No, bro. He's not going to fight anyone that young. They're too young, bro. All of them. And see, someone like someone like Carl Froch fighting someone like Jake Paul, that could only help. See, if Jake Paul is not a pawn for anyone. He is the guy. He's the star. So he has to continue being the star because he's the guy that's bringing the revenue. So there can't be a guy that can come there and beat the shit out of him because at that point, game over. Because at that point, well, hey, he's been beaten and nobody cares. And then Jake Paul's his credibility will drop, from what he does because it's the cat out of the bag. Like, look, that's why you shouldn't deal with a boxer, fucker. That's why you should stick with fighting whoever you were fighting to begin with that got you where you were to this point. Not fighting legitimate boxers because the legitimate boxers will beat the hell out of you and probably possibly kill you. But you don't want to do that simply based off the fact that, hey, that show will be over. So you guys don't have to understand the model, the business model. The business model of Jake Paul is, look, I'm going to fight someone and give you an idea that that person can beat me based on how that person can sell and can talk and can fathom and come up with a reason on why he can beat me. I'm like this or I'm like that. Then Jake Paul's training, then it's an exhibition so he can juice and do all this other stuff that he wants to do. And, and then look, a guy like Jake Paul that got that big, from where he was to where he is now, 227 pounds. Do you guys understand? Mike Tyson has been a heavyweight for how long? How long has Mike Tyson been a heavyweight? 30 years plus? Jake Paul's been a heavyweight for how long? Shit, a couple months? Think about it. That's a long time, bro, to be a heavyweight versus, and you come in 227 pounds. So you came in a pound less than Mike Tyson has been a heavyweight for how long? Not 219, not 210, not 205. That's more natural because you're actually naturally putting weight on. That dude was nothing natural about Jake Paul. Jake Paul came in big as hell, solid, okay? Alan Hari, counterpunch to you. What about George Foreman? Bro, George Foreman is in his 70s. Somebody would probably snipe Jake Paul if he put a fight on like that because you don't do that just to fight old guys. That's bully tactics. It's an unfair advantage. It's always been. And it was double unfair for Mike because not only was he too old, he was also injured. Jake is a joke. He really bragging about beating a 60-year-old man. Yeah, he was doing that because that's the model. Because the old man said he could beat him. But then what reverence do you get out of that? Oh, yeah, I beat Mike, man. He's one of the best that did it. You acting like you beat him. Bro, you weren't even alive. You weren't even alive when he was fighting, like when he was in his prime. Jake Paul was not even alive when he was in his prime, okay? I'm going to say that again. When Mike Tyson was in his prime, Jake Paul wasn't even thought of. He's 27 years old, right? 28. Even if he's 28, he wasn't even thought of. When was Jake Paul born? My daughter's 24. She's 24. She was born in 2000. Okay, so he was born in 96. Mike Tyson wasn't even in his prime in 96. He was in his prime from 1990 to probably, 93. Got, ultimately, beat by Buster Douglas in Japan, right? So, yeah. Jake's acne is getting worse and worse every fight. If you notice Jake's chin, if you see old pictures of him without a beard, and I think he grew that beard not to hold and hide and cushion punches. That damn chin's getting all down. His chin is getting long, but supposedly, allegedly, that's one of the reasons why, what happens when you do take performance enhancing drugs. You start to get disformation in your skeletal area. I'm 54 and I was 17 when Tyson was in his prime. Exactly, Daryl Masters. Exactly. Jake's better Better be glad he wasn't around in Mike's era. He would be have. Look, here's the thing. He wasn't born then. You're fighting someone that old. And Mike don't give a shit because you know what Mike is like. You know what? I only live once, and I'm gonna do what I can do when I can do it as long as I'm breathing. You know what I mean? And I like like so in this game, this sport that I love that I hate so much, it's addictive. And the sad thing is, we can't stop Mike from doing anything. Mike does what he wants to do. So if he agreed to take a dive, if he agreed to fight somebody under stipulations, if he agreed to do certain things just to get that damn money, he agreed to it. Nobody else, you know? 87 was prime Mike. Okay, there you go. Even much so. I mean, it was been a long time ago. So that meant 10 years before Jake Paul was even born, Mike was in his prime. Yeah, he was just and here's the thing. He's almost 60. Mike stopped boxing 20 years ago. 20. 20 years ago he stopped boxing. So that put him at what? 38? 38 years of age? Mike about that money. Mike Tyson. Kurt, I don't agree with Biz when he said that Paul versus Tyson was a good for boxing, as well as saying the fight was 50-50 fight for the fight night. Makes me think he was just trying to push it. Vincent N. Showbiz was sent there by Netflix. Netflix took him there. Okay, so he's supposed to say that. You see what I mean? Like, if any conglomerate, if any corporation that put on any fight, that's like Turkey al-Sheikh sending me to Saudi Arabia. I cannot say anything if I had good sense. I can't say anything about bad or negative about the production, about the promotion of what I'm getting paid for. You know what I mean? I'm on the payroll. That's like me talking about a corporation that I'm a part of. Showbiz can't talk about, well, yeah, I think it was good for boxing. He can't say anything when it comes to that. They put him down there. He would be a fool to. You have to understand that. And that's my boy. I love him. But he's hired from them. What is it? What was it? MPV? MV? Major promotion or whatever? MVP promotions, right? They hired him to come there. They put him there. He can't say anything about it. He has to promote the whole idea to get hired again. Okay? That's what it is. That's what it's about. That's business. That man didn't quit a job at Dell or wherever the fuck he worked at to come home and go against the masses of the people that feed him. No, you can't do that shit. So no. Here's the thing. You have to understand a position that a person's in. You know what I mean? So if Under Armour hired me to do certain things, I can't say anything about Under Armour. In fact, I can't even say anything bad about the people that promote. Like, if I'm with Under Armour, I can't say anything bad about AJ. Why? Because we are promoted. We are endorsed by the same company. That's against the rules and regulations. That's a breach of that's a conflict of interest. Now you're bringing you're bringing confusion, right? You don't do that. Kurt, what about Luis Ortiz? Luis Ortiz is too old. He can't get a fight because he's too old and dangerous. You know what I mean? And yeah, he may be pushing 54, 55, but, realistically, but Luis Ortiz, poor guy, he can't hack it. Being the bad guy sometimes pays off. It's not even about being the bad guy. It's just about pushing a certain agenda. You know what I mean? That people don't agree with. That doesn't make you a bad guy. That just means people don't agree with you. See, and I think the problem we have is when you don't agree with someone, if you don't agree with someone, doesn't make that person that you don't agree with a bad person. That's what got me about all this election shit. All this election stuff was crazy. It's like, oh yeah, you voted for Trump. Oh, you voted for Harris. And it's almost like, okay, if like, you're going to do what you're going to do. You're going to do what you're going to do at the end of the day. Like seriously. Because like boxing, the only positive thing about this fight was they actually had boxers, legitimate boxers, on the undercard. Mike threw the fight and we knew it. He hurt Jake bad in the first round. Can't blame him for making easy money. Well, here's the thing. That may be believable based on the fact that there were no knockdowns. Of course, there were no knockouts. And I think what it was, picture this, right? Let's put it this way. Mike Tyson was probably like, if Mike took a dive for this fight, people, if he took a dive, it went something like this. Well, wait a minute. You mean I can't hurt Jake Paul, but I don't want the motherfucker hurting me. No, 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 Mike. No, 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 Mike. We won't do that. No, we won't do that. He won't do that. He won't engage. Just you don't engage. You get 20 million. Jake has to win. We're giving him 40 million. We're giving you 20. Just for showing up. We know about the knee. We know about the knee. Just for showing up. So, no knockdowns, no embarrassing situations, just him beating you. Will you do it? So, I mean, the motherfucker hit me wrong. I gotta go kill him. I'm gonna kill him. I gotta kill him. No, 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 Mike. It won't be like that. We've already talked to Jake. We smoothed it away with Jake. He won't do any of that shit. I know because the last motherfucker, he went at him, he do that shit to me, I'll fucking kill him. No, 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 Mike. It won't be like that. No, no. Just sign on the dotted line. Yeah, sign. you know? So, yeah. So that's believable. He just, he'll dive, he'll take the L, just, make sure Jake wouldn't like engage to the point where it's actually serious now. What makes me angry is Mike's strategy. A 58-year-old bum legend shot fighter trying to chase down a man who is in his prime in terms of foot speed. Well, I mean, that was the whole thing. I think the fixed part about the issue was, hey, Jake Paul, all he has to do is stay away from Mike. And they probably told him, like, if it was scripted, which I don't know if it wasn't or not. I mean, even if it wasn't, it was. Let me explain. Even if the fight wasn't scripted, it was scripted. And then what do you mean by that? Well, it's supposed to go that way. If they knew Mike was already injured, what could Mike really do to hurt Jake? All Jake actually physically had to do was stay away from Mike Tyson. Give him a little jab, a straight right to the stomach, an overhand right here and there. You know what I mean? Don't lean too much into the shots. Just jab, throw punches, and keep moving. Stay away from Mike Tyson. Mike won't be able to hit you or catch you anyway because he's impaired. Okay? Then that's how the fight's gonna go. It's 8 2-minute rounds, right? So if it's 8 2-minute rounds, what happens? Okay, fine. He stay away from Mike. Mike can't hurt you if Mike can't catch you. But if he catches you, you know what I mean? Hey, go with it. But that's not going to happen. Just keep moving. And that's all that was. Just keep moving. You'll be fine. Just keep moving. That's all that really means. That's all I believe that happened. He's 58 years old. He's hurt his knee. He probably did it doing something. They probably knew exactly when he did it. Oh, Mike, injured his knee. This is going to be real easy. But even Jake Paul knew, like, hey, I'm not going to get hit because it's not meant for me to get hurt by Mike Tyson. It's not in the script. But, they probably didn't have to tell Mike to dumb down. Mike couldn't do what he wanted to do anyway because he couldn't catch him. See, you don't have to, I think if anybody was on the take, it was Jake. If anybody was on the take, it was Jake. It wasn't Mike. Jake was on the take. Jake was like, you know what? I'm going to stay away because I don't want to get caught with a big shot, a shot from a guy that I don't know. He may or may not have the punching power no more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay away. Jab and move, jab and move, jab and clinch when I have to. Because if Mike catches me in the corner and hits me with a hard shot, he may drop me and, people will lose their shit. Because it's Mike. Anything Mike will do, bro. Think about it like this. Let's look at it. Let's look at it in the positive. Do you guys understand that Mike Tyson damn near made, for every punch he landed, $1 million? Think about what I just said, people. Damn near for every punch, Mike Tyson, every punch that Mike Tyson landed, he made $1 million. Actually, it's more than that. Mike Tyson, facts, for every punch from CompuBox that he landed, every punch that he landed, he made over $1 million for every punch. He got $20 million. So for every punch he landed, right? There were no knockdowns. Think about what I'm saying, people. Mike Tyson earned for every punch landed $1 million. See, if you look at it like that, it don't sound that bad, does it? Hell no, it don't. Think about that. Who can say that? Who can say, for every punch landed, I became a new millionaire? I landed 18 punches recorded on Jake Paul, and I got $20 million. Yes. Mike Tyson, the man, the legend, the myth. Think about it. For every punch landed, he made over $1 million. Yeah. I kind of thought they might have rigged a draw to set up a rematch. No. Because I think what it is, it was a deal with Netflix. Netflix had a deal with Jake Paul. Mike Tyson was the introduction. He was the co-star in this whole fiasco with Netflix. Netflix had to break through with something huge. You couldn't get any bigger than someone that's a celebrity that has been known to generate money, revenue. And he needed someone big enough to introduce the platform of of Netflix, right? So it had to be that big. See, it broke records. That's why the traffic was so funny. That's why shit was freezing and shutting down, because that's exactly what they wanted. They wanted something that big that they could not handle the traffic. Think of it like this. Do you guys remember? I don't know about you guys over across the pond, but over here in the States, Crown Royal, right? The whiskey from Canada. They came out with a taste of I'm gonna do this. Just let's have some fun. Okay, here we go. Mike was like boxing royalty. Yeah. I mean, he took a blow, but like, you don't know how long this fight's been brewing. See, never had Crown Royal before, but I heard of it. See, Crown Royal is from Canada. So I don't know how their breweries, I don't know if they've reached over to UK or whatever, because I don't know. Tanya talented. Well, when you put it like that, Kurt, but still his legacy and arguably the sport is tarnished. I hope it was worth it. Well, Jake Paul knew what he was doing. I mean, Jake Paul is meant to win. If you're meant to win, just like Floyd Mayweather was meant to win, that's how you do it. You don't do it like, hey, I don't give you something that I may lose. Just like with Floyd. Floyd fought a bigger, taller, I don't know about stronger Logan Paul, right? And he knew that because Logan Paul wasn't a fighter. Say what you want about Floyd. Floyd's a very strong little guy. He's very durable. He's physically strong. He has a good chin. Look at the neck of Floyd. Floyd's not a gobbleneck bastard. He eats his Wheaties. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't do drugs. Blackberry Crown, hard to find in the UK liquor stores, and it ain't cheap if you find it. Daryl Masters. So that means it's over there, right? Jake beats Canelo at 175. Rod, yeah, you really need to stop. You really need to stop that malarkey. Everybody in Mike's position takes the L for 20 million. Well, I mean, they don't look at it as an L. Everybody around, like Mike Tyson, got paid. Everybody in that position, got paid something. Thousands, hundreds of thousands, because it was a business decision by everybody around Mike. The trainers, everybody's paid. Everybody's happy, So they're looking at it as a moral victory. Fame is Floyd's drug. No, I think fortune is Floyd's drug, not fame. See, he wanted fortune over fame. He didn't want to be famous no more. He wanted the fortune. See, that's where you're wrong. See, he wanted fortune over fame. That's Floyd. So what Floyd did, he created a model where he couldn't lose. He didn't care about being famous because nobody cared about a woman beater that's a convicted domestic violence abuser. That's what he is. That's Floyd. And he knew, keep that O and everything else will follow. Why do you think Floyd and McGregor was so big? Because everybody was looking for that guy to come along to beat Floyd. Why do you think Canelo and Floyd was so big? They were looking for someone to beat Floyd. And if he happened to look like the ideal person for boxing, like Canelo was, why do you think he's still the cash cow? Right? See, it was interesting with Canelo. See, Canelo was Mexican and all, but Canelo is not the ideal Mexican fighter, is he? No. He's not the ideal guy. He doesn't have the ideal appearance of a Mexican fighter. No, he doesn't. Somebody got to say it. It's true. See, everybody wanted to see Canelo because everybody hated Floyd. You know what's something? It's funny about Louisiana. When that fight happened, this was back in 2013. This was over 10 years ago. And people wanted Floyd to lose that knew nothing about Floyd. In fact, they knew nothing about boxing. So the question is, it's like, okay, why do you want Floyd to lose so bad when you don't even like boxing anyhow? Oh, I like Canelo. Do you? When was his last fight? They couldn't tell you. Because they just like the idea. They like the appearance. Oh, I want that guy to win. Who is that guy? Kurt, I mean, fame is Floyd's drug now, not when he was boxing. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I think he wanted to be known. I think secretly he wanted fame, but instead he got fortune, But I think he wanted that longevity of people knowing who he was. He wanted people to be proud of him. He had a lot of talent, and I think he has a chip on his shoulder because people didn't respect him while he was actually fighting the best fighters. And he was always getting overlooked by guys like Oscar De La Hoya or Arturo Gatti. Guys like that that were around, you know? And a lot of those fighters, little that he knew, were getting the same type of reprimanded abuse, you know, like Bernard Hopkins, like Roy Jones, you know, nobody respected those guys when they were really doing it. You know what I mean? Most people on these streams know nothing about boxing. Yeah, you know, I mean, they don't. That's why people need to be educated on what true boxing really means and who true boxers are. Well, here's the problem. If the true boxers, the legitimate ones, are calling out guys like Jake Paul, then how can we respect boxing overall? How can we respect that? We can't really respect that now based on what people are doing. Now you got guys that are legitimate champions that have done astronomical things in the sport of boxing to become who they are, to make their name known, legitimately known, calling out Jake Paul. So what does that tell you about Jake Paul? Oh, we're going to give him a beating. No, stay in your place. These boxers should stay in their lane. They should stay in their lane. Stop calling out a guy that doesn't even belong to be called out. He doesn't even deserve to be called out, but you're calling him out anyway. To do what? To prove what? What point are you proving by beating up someone that doesn't belong there in the first place? What's the point? You go in there and he takes a fight with you and you beat him up. Then what? What does that mean? What does that make you? What does that show us about you calling him out, wanting to fight him to show you how it's done? Bro, we know you can do that. What's the point? There's no point of you calling out Jake Paul, beating up Jake Paul, and showing, hey, yeah, I did that. What's the point? What's the point? And then what? You want him gone? Okay, and then what? Like, I don't understand these guys. I don't understand the call-outs. See, someone like Ryan Garcia could probably, it would make sense because he's like, I think he's more in that Tommy Fury-like thing, you know, because he's all about, I think he's more of an inner email, a social media guy than true legitimate boxing royalty, because when he stepped up to the bat with somebody really truly legitimate like Gervonta, he lost, he quit. So yeah, I can understand Ryan, because Ryan, he's suspect anyway, because we don't really know how he gets pushed, because Devin Haney wasn't really the guy of the hour. Sure, Eddie Hearn was trying to push Devin Haney, but Devin Haney got beat by a guy that's not even proven to be the guy. Because guess what? He had to cheat to do it. So again, Ryan Garcia, sure. Artur Beterbiev, shame on you. Daniel Dubois, shame on you. You guys are legitimate champions in the sport of boxing. And you guys now are falling for the same bullshit and you're doing the same motions as someone like Ryan Garcia. Look, you shouldn't even put yourself in the same situation, in the same category. Shame on you guys for that. Damn you guys for that. They think, yeah, he's a golden goose, but that's all you need to do? You guys are getting paid. Turkey Al-Sheikh is giving you good salaries. You don't have to go down to the YouTube boxers and pick one of them to make money. Because now all that tells us about our sport is it don't even matter how good you are. It don't matter how good you are. It just matters on how many people that know you. That's all you're worried about now? That's all that concerns you is how many people that know you or how many followers you have? That's what you're concerned about? That's all it is. Jake fought Tom Aspinall and see what happens, even under boxing rules. Yep. And he knocked him out. Was it entertaining? Yeah, it was. It made highlight reels? Yes, it did. But that was only under a certain platform. You know what you know what that reminds me of? You know what this is turning into? That's why people like Kim Kardashian is looked at now is just as important as someone like Jennifer Lopez. Think about what I just said. Kim Kardashian was a reality star. Reality stars and true legitimate actors We're on totally different platforms. Now it's no different. Now it's all about, hey, how many people you know and how many people follow you. It don't matter, does it? Kirk needs that Jake payday. Nah, Kirk don't need it. Kirk would like it, but Kirk, look, let me tell you something about Kirk. Kirk's too real for that. Because see what happens at that point. You gotta be able to put a leash on my neck to tell me where to go, and they know that's not gonna work with me. You know, everybody got a price. Dubois is a cool dude. I like Daniel. I like Daniel too. He's actually like Kim Kardashian is hotter than J-Lo. Well, Jennifer. Uh Now, you know what? I don't know. I mean, all you got to do is have a sex tape. She's known for a sex tape. You got to admit Daniel's unintentionally funny. Yeah, I mean, he's a funny guy. Put some respect on my name, boy. Put some respect on my name. You know? I like Daniel though. I think Daniel, he's a guy, and I'm glad that he's just him. Now, if he changes, you don't want Daniel to change too much, because if he changed too much, then what does that say about him? That means that he can be coerced. That means that he can be coached. You don't need Daniel to be somebody else. You need Daniel to respect Daniel to be Daniel. It's Daniel, bro. It's Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois shouldn't be this guy like Adrian Broner. If that's the case, where's the authenticity of him being who he is, the quiet killer? He's supposed to be a quiet killer that makes bad jokes. You know what I mean? He's supposed to be that way. He's supposed to be him. Daniel's supposed to be respected of being Daniel. Nobody expected Daniel to call out Jake Paul today. No, I didn't either. Didn't see that coming. But he did. Like, I'll fight you, good take on last Saturday or Friday. How would you like to fight and take on a real legitimate champion? Hey, he has a voluntary. And what did Jake do? Jake took that shit and spit it at him. He spit in Daniel's face by telling Daniel Dubois to get in line. Oh, how disrespectful. Imagine that. The heavyweight champion of the world gives you an opportunity. And guess what? You make so much money that you can, in return, tell that heavyweight champion of the world, fuck off. Take a ticket number and have a seat. Have 3 seats. Think about what I just said, man. Jake Paul. Jake Paul's so big now that he took a call out from the IBF heavyweight champion of the world. He took that invitation, crumbled it up, threw it, and then told him, hey, you know what? Take a number and you have a seat. Damn. Dubois ain't that real champ. Usyk gave him that belt. Well, here's one thing we can ride and we can be proud of as boxing fans. At least Usyk didn't do it. See, we could say that. We can now say, well, Daniel, because the man, the champion, the fighter makes the belt, not the belt, the champion. You know what I mean? The fighter itself legitimizes the belt. It's what he does with what he is and how he carries himself signifies who that is. He makes it legitimate. And by him calling out Jake Paul, he just said, you know what? I'm down with the circus too. Shit. I'm down with it too. Why not? So, you know, but guess what? You know, the funny thing about Daniel and Jake Paul, Daniel Dubois and Jake Paul are the same age. Matter of fact, I think Jake's a little older than Daniel, right? Daniel just turned 27. Ryan versus Jake Paul at cruiserweight. Ryan could get up there, but then that means that bro, he would have to come down. He would have to come down with 20 some odd pounds. Hey, they can juice all they want if it's an exhibition. I mean, believe it or not, Jake Paul versus Ryan Garcia, it would sell, man. People would buy it. People would watch it. People would show up. If they make it, they will come. I ain't mad about Ryan because Ryan's suspended. He can do an exhibition. He's doing an exhibition anyway. Why not call him out? I ain't mad at Ryan Garcia for that. Ryan Garcia, that's right up his alley. That's right up Ryan Garcia's alley. How and what I am embarrassed of is Artur Beterbiev. Artur Beterbiev is a legitimate, undisputed light heavyweight champion, and he put himself in that trick bag. Mm, mm, mm. Ryan said he will fight him at cruiserweight. It makes sense. Yeah, he's a big boy anyway. Ryan's big. He's young. That's his walking around weight anyway. He's not 140 pounds walking around. Not the type of partying he does. See, if Ryan Garcia goes on, Coca-Cola binges, that means he could gain 20 pounds after he comes off. He comes off 2 or 3 days Coca-Cola binges. He's ready to eat up everything. Oh, yeah, I'm going to go to the steakhouse and order some shrimp and a tomahawk steak and, some mashed potatoes and Brussels sprouts and mac and cheese and, you know what I mean? Yeah, he can gain 20, 30 pounds easy. Sure. That's the money route, Kurt. I see Jake Paul fighting Ryan or Canelo. They're the money fights. See, Canelo, that's why Canelo is respected to be Canelo. Canelo ain't calling out Jake Paul. You let Jake Paul call out Canelo. Because Canelo don't need Jake Paul. If Canelo called out Jake Paul, then, oh, yeah, boxing's fucked. Why? Because he's a cash cow calling him out. You got to draw a line somewhere within this boxing thing. Now, if Jake Paul wanted to come over here and legitimize himself as a true heavyweight boxer, I think if he took that fight with Daniel Dubois and he actually had a good go, like he would probably be beaten and knocked out. But if he could show Daniel that, hey, man, I'm a true boxer instead of this YouTube guy, that's where I started. But no, I'm taking this seriously. I'm Mickey Rourke-ing it. I'm actually training. I'm getting up when I don't want to. I don't want to do lines off my girlfriend's vajayjay today. No, I got a 6-week training camp, seriously, and I got to take it seriously. And I got to train like the Dickens to make sure that I'm tip-top shape, to make sure I can pass these physicals, to make sure I'm ready, Yeah. Mickey Rourke needs to make a comeback. Not at 60 years old, he don't. Mickey Rourke's old, bro. Him, Lisa Bonet, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Wesley Snipes, Rosie Perez, all of those guys, those actresses and actors, those talents, they're up in age now. They're up in age. Jaya Pattaya would be a great watch for Jake Paul. No, Jaya Pattaya would be too much for Jake, and Jake knows it. Jake's not an idiot. He's not an idiot. You can't be mad at Jake Paul. I'm not mad at Jake. Jake is doing things. He got in on a business model, and he's seen the void in American boxing. And he's got the attention of other boxers. Think about it. Kurt, you didn't talk about CBS loss. I don't know what is a CBS loss. What's that? Yeah, man. Skrilla 50. Rosie Perez still look good, and Rosie Perez can still get it. She can still get it. That ain't no lie. She can still get it. She can. Kurt, you didn't talk about Chris Billum Smith. I didn't see the fight, man. I didn't see the fight. I'll watch it here in pretty soon, but I didn't see it. I mean, Zerto's good. I mean, Zerto is going to be he's going to be a good fight. He won't beat Jai Apataya. I mean, Jai Apataya, his footwork is too much. He's too much for him. He's too fast. You know, he won't beat him because he couldn't beat guys like Bivol. He's not going to beat guys like Jai Apataya. No Sirski. Okay, how many of you guys had Blackberry Crown? 82% of you said no. Only 17% says yes. Okay. What that means is Blackberry Crown was a very sought after liquor here. But it sold out. And I'm saying all that to say this. Netflix getting that type of steam. Am I dead yet? What's up? Counterpunch to you. Just shows you that so many people wanted to watch that show. You know? But yeah, Jake Paul has options. Jake Paul is the man right now, believe it or not. That's what it is. And that's how it goes. Seriously. I never seen Blackberry Crown in any liquor store in Baltimore. Yeah, man, it's highly sought after. It is highly sought after. I mean, you might have a case and it's gone. But you guys, it just tells you that Jake Paul's here to stay and people are making him legitimate. I appreciate you guys coming off of this live stream. I may go live later on this week, definitely. But you guys be blessed. Have a great Tuesday. And everyone has been counterpunched. I got to eat. I am starving. Peace.